Hello Padawans, how are we today? I hope we're having a wonderful day so far. So today's video is building a mental health toolbox specifically for social anxiety. Total disclaimer though, I am not a licensed clinician or doctor of any sort. Okay, I only have a bachelor's degree in psychology, and I'm not claiming that as to you should listen to me and do all these things. These are just things that I have found that have helped me and have helped some people that I know. They don't work for everybody. Just remember, everybody's different. These might not work for you. This is simply just what I found that works for me and my anxiety and other stuff. So I'm not a licensed professional of any sort. I'm not claiming to be. These are just things I have found that maybe they will help you, maybe they won't, but hopefully they will. So that's my disclaimer there. You might be asking, what is a mental health toolbox? Well, it's pretty much it's not like an actual toolbox per se, you know, it doesn't have nails, it doesn't have hammers and wrenches and socket wrenches and screws and levels or measuring tapes, you know, all that jazz that goes in a toolbox. But it's a different type of tool that holds all the things that you've found to be super useful when your mental health kind of is just going a little bit haywire, needs to be toned back a little bit. What can help me? Type of deal. That's more of what I'm saying. Things that can essentially help you prevent, help you handle, or work through whatever's going on up there. You know, whether you're having an anxiety attack or you're having a lot of anxiety in a social situation, or your depression you can feel your depression coming on and you want to try to combat it a little bit. Or maybe you notice that you got triggered from your PTSD and you're just like, hey, I just got triggered by this and I need to go find this because this is what's going to help me. I know that was a very unspecific example, I'm sorry. But I am going to try to get into it. I'm going to try to make this into a series in a way, if possible, because a mental health toolbox doesn't just go for just anxiety, just social anxiety. Like, these things are super helpful whether you have anxiety, depression, bipolar, PTSD, just in general maybe even. It could work for multiple different things, multiple different situations, and every toolbox is going to be different for each person. I have a different tool set than one of my sisters does because she has a different form of anxiety than I do. So we have different tools in our box to combat it because we think differently on some things and because we're all different. Our triggers are different and our experiences are different. Just because something might work for me, it might not work for you, but I hope it does. One of the things I always suggest, and this kind of goes with this isn't just social anxiety specific. This can go with depression, PTSD, bipolar, general life, to find your triggers. I know. That's a lot easier said than done. Okay, finding our triggers is such a hard thing. It's so important to do. Because if you don't know why you're getting triggered, you're just going to keep getting triggered by that one thing and you're just going to keep getting set off. And it's not really beneficial. But if you're able to figure out, okay, so when I'm in a crowded room, social anxiety example, when I'm in a crowded room, all the noises just get super loud and echoey in my ears and I can hear everything. I might not hear what they're saying, but I can hear everything. And it drives me up a wall and I just want to run to a safe place that has no noise of any sort. But like once I realized that, I'm like, okay, what could I do? When I'm in a public situation, like if I'm shopping, I can listen with a headphone in. Especially now that they have Bluetooth headphones. Oh my gosh, they saved my life. Because if I have my hair down, you can't see if I have a Bluetooth headphone in. Y'all wouldn't even know if I was listening to music while I'm making videos because I could get social anxiety when I'm making videos. No, I'd get distracted. But no, see, I don't. Because I would get distracted talking to you guys. So I know, it's a lot easier said than done. And it takes a lot of time and practice to know how to do that. Not everyone knows exactly how to be like, how do you know that's what's triggering you? Like, that happened a week ago. What? Right, yeah, okay, well, anxiety, first of all, with anxiety, our minds don't stop. They just keep going like a little hamster on a wheel, and it's still looking at the same memory from like a year ago. It's crazy. If you're able to like sit down and think about it, okay, I noticed that my anxiety levels got higher. What could have caused it? Could it have been I was in too much public space today? So my social anxiety is going crazy and turning into just general anxiety at this point. Or did you maybe eat something that caused it? Sometimes what we eat can cause things, which really sucks, especially like I can't have Oreos as much as I used to because they don't make me feel great, and which causes my anxiety because then I'm terrified I'm going to get sick. It's great. I love Oreos, but because of the milk and the gluten in them mixed together and all of the sugar mixed with it, kind of kills me. And I know it can be hard if you are able to pin down what it was that either caused an anxiety attack, a panic attack, what could have set your depression off, or a flashback, things like that. Or just what sets you off in general to make you just very, very stressed out maybe, or whatever it could be. Like, 'cause I know if I was editing all day and then I had a stream on top of it and I didn't stop editing until like midnight, so I was pretty much like 8 o'clock to midnight working, I know the next day I'm going to be terrified of life. I'm not gonna want to get out of bed. I'm not gonna, it's gonna mess me up. But it took me a while to realize that I needed to stop because my stress level was too high, and I needed to be like, okay, when are you gonna call it a day? So pretty much around 6:30, I am done. I'm not working. I'm not Jenny the Jedi anymore. I'm just Jenny. So going into the next thing, this is another thing that I found super helpful to figure out the triggers. I'm gonna have a picture up. So one of the things I do is I list things down, and I write down all of the positives that happened in a week, and I write down all of the triggers that I noticed, as well as any goals that I have. And I made my own worksheet for it. But I found this to be really helpful when I'm trying to figure out different triggers, as well as try to stay on a positive note throughout the week. That way I'm more focusing on the positives, but I'm also noticing things that can set me off. So when you notice that you're being triggered. So and this is just not just something that I do. I love to make worksheets and be super organized because it's fun. Staples is my favorite store, so anything with sticky notes, bullet points, I'm all about it. All about it. I have way too many binders. It's not even funny. And notebooks and pens, but I will never run out of those things, so there's that. I'll be prepared. That's all. I just like being prepared, but really, that's it. You never know when you need to write something down, right? Because my therapist would always suggest, journal about it, which is another great way to work through things because you can write it out that way. And I love to write, so I thought it was a great idea, but I suck at journaling. I do. I only write when I have an idea and then I just go with it, or have a few lines, that'd be so cool in a story, and then I never come back to it. I haven't written in my journal for at least 6 months, if not longer, because I forget, but I remember the list that I make. So, and I made this worksheet specifically so I could notice all of the positives that week, so I could tell, was it a good week? Was it a bad week? Was it a pretty neutral week? It wasn't bad, it wasn't good, but you know what? Nothing bad happened, type of thing. But I also have the triggers on the other side, so I can see, okay, these things really set me off. These are things I still need to work on, or try to find either ways to deal with it, or how can I deal with this in the future? Or, okay, this is why this happened, and this is why I couldn't get this done. Okay, now that's understandable. Not making excuses for myself, but more so noticing on, okay, this really sets me off, and when that happens, I'm unable to do this as well as I normally can. Or, okay, this is something I need to work on. I had a lot of anger issues. I had to work on them. So, but writing what ticked me off, everything that was my ticking time bomb pretty much, once I figured those out, it's a lot easier to work through them. But whether it's talking to your therapist about it, being hi, I really want to focus on this, can you help me focus on this? Or do you have any suggestions on how I could work on this? But also just so you know in the back of your head, okay, because of this, I need to do this, because this really set me off today. Going to a certain store, that can really set someone off. Just being in a store, like Walmart or something, that can really send some people because it's a crazy place to be. It's a free-for-all. And so just going shopping can really set somebody off, and maybe that's it. Or you had a really close call driving because people don't know how to drive, and it really sets you off. That could be one too. But with how you handled it, you were proud of yourself because you were able to handle it. And a lot of the times I will write the little things on my list that most people aren't yeah, but that's what you're supposed to do. No. Little household chores and things like that, I add those. I got up, I had breakfast that day. And I don't always write that I had breakfast, but when I'm struggling eating, when my anxiety is telling me I can't eat, that's when I'm just nope. I ate this many meals today, and I'm so proud of myself. I didn't feel guilty about it. Or if I did the dishes that day, I get so excited to write that down. I do, because then I'm just like, no, I did something productive for the house, and I'm really proud of myself. I'm super jazzed I did that. It sounds super simple, but when you normally have a really hard time getting yourself up, going to do the dishes, something simple like that, it can be really motivating just to be like, I did that today. What else can I do today? You know, it can kind of pump back up from like, all right, let's do this, you know? And again, this doesn't work for everybody. These are just things that I found that work for me. But if you do notice that something specifically triggered you, write it down. Just take note of the things that you notice. Whether it's helpful, doing this one thing really helped with that. Or writing myself a sticky note to, hey, do a load of dishes today. Really helped me get that done. Or writing down, hey, I noticed that during this, my anxiety was really high, and this is what I did when I got home. Like, even just writing little notes to yourself, that can be really helpful, because writing it down, you're taking the time to focus on that for a little bit, and your brain is going to be like, okay, so when X happens, we gotta do either Y or Z. These are our options of things we can do. I didn't mean to make that into a math problem, I'm so sorry. But just having those in the back of your mind can be really, really helpful. Another thing that kind of works for multiple things, whether it's anxiety, depression, PTSD, whatever it is you got going up in your mental health roller coaster. For some reason, I'm wording this as preparing for the storm, which sounds more terrifying than I meant that to. But anyways, we're gonna go with it, because not all storms are bad, and storms always blow over, right? So one of the things that I do, this is a little more tailored towards social anxiety on this one for the examples. One of the things I do is I unplug. Yeah, because I'm a robot, you know. I turn all of my socials, like Twitch or Discord, Facebook, whatever social things are, if I turn it so you can't tell, you might be able to tell if I'm online, but you can't see what I'm doing, you can't see when I was last active, all those things. And especially if I'm taking a mental health day for me, I will definitely make sure everything's invisible for that, because I don't want someone getting mad because I'm not streaming, but I'm playing The Sims or something, when I'm literally just trying to play the game. For me, I'm just like, it's not that I don't want to be online, guys, I do, it's just I need to do something fun, and when I'm streaming, it takes a lot of extra focus. And because I get so worked up, on, did I respond to this in time? How do I respond to this? Just simple text messages really stress me out. When someone sends me something in a Discord, I get really stressed out, because I'm like, I need to respond to this, and then my brain just automatically forgets all of normal social cues, and then I don't know how to respond. And then I'm super nervous that I'm being a terrible social person on the internets, because that's what we're called. Influencers? That's the word. But because I get so stressed out about it, I have to be like, nope. And that's why I also have the schedule of, from this time to this time, I'm JenniTheJedi. But after that, after 6:30 p.m., sorry, I'm not JenniTheJedi anymore. I found it really important to take that time for yourself. Either if you had a really stressful time, or you're noticing stress is building up, to just be like, nope, I need a day. Today is not a good day for me. I'm off the clock today. I'm gonna go drink some tea, maybe do some yoga if that's what works for you. Maybe meditate, maybe go for a run, video game, watch your favorite movie, just hang out with the cats, spend time with a loved one that you haven't seen in a while, something like that. Whatever it is that works for you and what you like to do in just your time, then do it. Or something you like to do but don't really have a lot of time to do it, using a bath bomb, or a face mask, or build the Lego kit you've been wanting to build but haven't had time and don't want to tell people that you have. Nobody's here to judge you guys. Or maybe you like to make pastries and just want to bake all day, whatever it is that you really enjoy doing but don't always have a lot of time to do for just fun. Make sure you're making time for that. And that's a huge thing, because if you don't make time for that, you're not taking time for yourself. You're not taking time to make sure that you're okay. Because if you're not okay, if you're not happy, what are you giving to other people? What energy are you giving to others, That's one of the hardest things about mental health, is because we're responsible for our own mental health, even if it's not our fault that we have it. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's just whatever it is works for you, you gotta do that. You gotta take time, because if you don't, you're just gonna sweep yourself under the rug. And that's not cool, man. That's not cool, You gotta take time for you, because If you don't, things will get crazy. Self-care is very important, and time to reset ourselves is very, very important. You know, if we don't do that, we can go a little haywire. Anyone can, whether you deal with mental health daily or not. We can all get a little crazy and just need a little time for ourselves sometimes, because the world is a crazy place to be. And I found this to be super helpful for general anxiety disorder. Not even just social anxiety. This is helpful for social anxiety, but these can be very, very helpful just in general anxiety, as well as other mental conditions or disorders, however you phrase it. Fidget objects, or something else to, basically something to switch your focus. Like, this can be a cube. I have a little fidget cube, and it's really helpful because you can click it, there's buttons you can press, there's like a worry place, there's a joystick, but like just the different sides that the cube has is really helpful. Like when I'm in therapy and I'm talking about something I don't want to talk about, or if I'm doing laundry at our sister-in-law's house, something like that. You know, it's really helpful to have. Or even sometimes while I'm on stream, I'll be playing with my fidget cube. Like, my anxiety might be high, but it's not like taking over. I just need something to like continue clicking. Usually I need this specifically if I'm playing The Sims, because that's when my mind can be distracted, because it's kind of a mindless game. But rocks are also super helpful, and like, I mean, pretty rocks too, guys. Like, I mean, I got this one, I got a purple one, and I got a jasper, and ooh, this one's really shiny, hematite, keeps me really rounded, you know. And just having like a nice palm stone that fits in the palm of your hand, like, look at that. Like, this is a great skipping stone, but I would be very mad if anyone tried to do that. Anyways, moving on. I like rocks. I don't know what to tell you, okay? Stop judging me. But like, just because they're smooth or have different textures, just holding one can be really, really helpful, I found. And if you're like me and believe in and this might matter, and this could differ on your belief system, and I'm not trying to portray mine onto yours. I believe that rocks have a lot of energies in them, and some can really, really help with like my anxiety or certain triggers that I have. And I found it to be really beneficial just to hold the rock in my hand and either like feel the smoothness on it or just having them with me. Clicky pens are super, super helpful as well. Like, they're so helpful. Do I have any up here? I do. But I mean, like, that's so helpful. I now understand why people had them in school, even though it drove me up a freaking wall because of sound. But it can be super, super helpful. That's my fidget at work, because I can have a pen on me. I'm just clicking the pen. That's all I'm doing. But I feel I'm calm. I'm able to stay calm at work. You know, it's just finding what works. Other things that are super helpful, friendship bracelet, okay? Because I didn't know how complex these things were. There's just like a lot of different crafts you can do. But I have found that friendship bracelets, these are great. Especially if you have struggles with your hair. This way, you can, basically you're braiding other things, but making something. And you're fidgeting, but you're being productive. So it's a lot less, it's like more socially acceptable, I guess, is the right term of phrase, even though people should just mind their business, but whatever. If you have people in your life that are like, why are you doing that? Why are you clicking a pen constantly? Could you not? Because, you know, sometimes people don't like hearing the sounds. I feel that. I hate extra sounds myself. Doing a friendship bracelet, like I do them all the time when I'm at my sister-in-law's doing laundry. It's really helpful. She even suggested it. I can literally just pin it onto my purse or whatever and just droop, droop, droop. I make like 10 while I'm there for like 3 hours, just because my social anxiety will take over if I don't focus on something. But like, that can color, do other art projects to help kind of focus in. Like, sometimes I'll sketch, or like when I travel to see my family, a lot of the times I'll color, just because I know they're not going to care that I'm coloring, and they know that I'm listening. If I'm not coloring or something like that in like crowded situations that I don't really feel comfortable being in, that's how I focus. Like, that's how I got through classes. That's how I remembered stuff in classes, in college, in high school, just by drawing squiggles on a piece of paper. Like, it was mindless, but I was listening, and because I couldn't keep up with the professors to like write notes, but I could squiggle while I was listening. It worked, you know? You gotta find what works. And it was super simple to do, and like each class would have a whole sheet of squiggles. It was great. But like, I would write specific things down that I know I needed to remember, but it's just finding what works for you. Some people, like, Legos is another thing someone could do, you know? One of my best friends plays with Legos all the time. And not like plays with them, actually we'll sit down and like make something specific, like we'll make a replica of a ship, or make a random car, or whatever they felt like building that day, you know, because it distracts them from what's going on, you know, and it gives them something else to focus on instead of all of the worries in the world. Because there's a lot of them, especially nowadays. It's a crazy world we live in, crazy world. And I mean, you could also do like Sudoku or Solitaire on your phone, you know, because everyone's glued to their phones doing that. So, I mean, there's that option too if you need it. But, I mean, that can be really helpful too, because no one suspects if you're just on your phone, they think you're just whatever, you know? Not that I'm promoting using your phone, but whatever works for you. Another thing that I've helped what are words? So another thing that I found that's super, super helpful, specifically with social anxiety, but this also goes for if you just have sound sensitivity issues as well, is that I found that finding certain types of music that can either, maybe it's just like calming meditative music, you know, that could be it, or like specific ambient music. Certain country songs keep me calm. I can listen to all of Avril Lavigne, I'm fine. Like, I'll be okay. Devil Went Down to Georgia, instant panic attack relief for me. If I'm listening to The Devil Went Down to Georgia, it's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good day. Avril Lavigne comes on the radio, Scared Her Boy, gonna be a great day, you know? But it's finding certain musics that either help keep you calm or can help calm you down, either or. Those can be different too. You know, sometimes I just have to listen to really upbeat music to get things done, because that is the only thing. Because like, if my blood's moving, then I'm gonna go. You know, that's made no sense. But like, if I'm like hyped because of the music, I'm gonna be hyped to get things done. I'm gonna have more energy for it. That's just how I am. I also enjoy dancing through life, so you know, there's that as well. If you were able to use music to help distract and drown out the extra noise, like if I'm going to do laundry at my sister-in-law's, she has birds, a lot of them. She has kids, and there's always like 1 or 2 TVs going on. And I'm not saying anything's wrong with that. It's not. Kids just are loud, they make noise. That's a good thing. You know, birds are loud. That's their natural way of being. People are watching TV, okay, whatever. But because I'm so sound sensitive, I will listen with a headphone in with either like my own music or music that helps keep me calm, because I can focus on that if the other noises are getting too much, but I can just focus on their voices. So when someone's talking to me, I can respond. You know, kind of like I would have my hair like this, have an earphone here, so they couldn't know. I did the same thing in school. I'm not promoting this, don't worry parents. I'm not telling your kids to listen to music while they're in class. However, if it helps them actually learn, I'm totally promoting it, okay? I'm just saying. I'm not saying have an earphone in when you're driving. I'm not, okay? Be safe about it, okay? If you're walking at night, don't have your headphones in. Please don't have them in loud like I used to, okay? It's really unsafe. Don't do that. If it's a situation, it's a job, like you work in the back or something, like you're a prep cook or something, and your boss doesn't care, like you've asked the questions like, hey, is it okay if I listen to with one headphone in? Is that cool? If it helps, then it helps. Cool. If they're not okay with it, well, I don't know what to tell you. That's how I would get through classes, because other people were talking or making so much noise that I couldn't focus on what the teacher was saying. So having an earbud in really was able to be like, okay, what are you saying? I can drown them out because I know what the sun is, so I'm not gonna be mad if I miss it, type of deal. It sounds crazy, but hey, it worked. I learned things that way. Not a lot, because I mean it was public school, but I was able to pay attention in class and get good grades for them. So there's that. I mean, there obviously people can use that as a way to not listen or hear you, but if you don't abuse the tools, they will do wonders for you, I guess is one way to word that. Those are just a few tools that I have found that really helped me with specifically my social anxiety, as well as like my PTSD and depression and general anxiety and general life stress. And these might not work for you. And again, I'm not a licensed professional of any sort. I'm not. These are just things I found that had helped for me. These are suggestions my therapist had given me. Some of them I found on my own. And I'm only telling you these to maybe help you find what works for you. Maybe one of these things will help you. Maybe it'll be like, that's not gonna work for me, but this might, you know? Maybe it'll get the brainstorm going. Just having a toolbox of things that are really helpful for when your mental health is kind of taking over. Just having that there can be a lot of help, because you're like, no, I got this, okay? I can do this or I can do this. I've got options, you know? And once you have options to deal or work through or prevent something, it can be really beneficial just knowing that they're there, but also being able to pick one up, being like, okay, this is the card I need to do this thing. Like, you could literally write all the things that help you out down on like a card, like a note card, and put them in like a tissue box and go through that, or like organize it or something. I don't know. I don't know. Brain is weird. whatever works for you. Sometimes it's a mental one, sometimes it's slowly just writing things down. But I do highly recommend trying to write down the little things you notice that are triggering. I really recommend it. As well as doing like the positives versus your triggers, doing it that way. And it might not work for you. It might not. I've noticed that I'm more likely to be positive about what's going on in life when I'm noticing the little things. The little positive things. Like once you notice the little things, you see so much more. No, today was actually a good day. Sure, one really shitty thing happened. A lot of good things happened today. Like, you know, like I got a candy bar. That was pretty cool. I got coffee. That was amazing. Love coffee. Gotta beat the boss level in this game. It was great. You know, I came home. I got kitty cuddles. It was wonderful. I mean, work was insanity, and I really just wanted to run away forever and hide and hole. But I got home, and then I had cat cuddles, and my whole day was just magical. You know, like, I don't know, that sounded really weird. But, like, once you notice the little things, it can really change, like, when big, crazy things happen that can really weigh you down. I don't know, just change your perspective a little bit. And it's just an idea. You don't have to do it. You do whatever you want to do. Like, I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just here suggesting things. That's all I'm doing. So these are just some things that I've found that have worked for me. Maybe they'll work for you. They might not. I hope they at least help in some way. I do plan on doing more of these, either specifically for social anxiety, other anxiety, depression, PTSD, etc., etc. Figured that'd be a good start for the mental health toolbox series that I plan on starting. I have mentioned it a few times, maybe not specifically as a toolbox, but I thought it would be fun. But it's something that I've found to be super helpful, and I'd like to share things that I have found helpful to maybe hopefully help someone else. And if I do, awesome. If not, okay. But if you did like this video, please make sure to give this video a big thumbs up, leave a comment down below. And if you have other tips or tricks, leave a comment down below. And maybe it was something I didn't think of, or maybe I haven't tried it yet. Let me know. Let me know, what are your tricks for social anxiety? What things do you do to help? Let me know in a comment down below. But yeah, I will be making more of these, and I will catch you next time. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for stopping by. Make sure to follow me on my other social medias if you feel like it. I wouldn't be, you know, it would kind of make my day, probably. Most likely. But yeah, if you do want to see more of these videos, make sure to leave a like so I know to make more. And I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. May the force be with you.